How's everybody doing? I'm going to try to move some stuff around and do some blacksmithing. You can see they've got quite a little mess there because I had to move everything over when we put the camper in. So right now I'm having a little bit of a location crisis. I'm not real sure where to put everything. Well, no use moping. Let's get to it. My coal forge is buried in the mud. It is still too wet to try to move it. It wouldn't be a big deal to me except for it has a crack running down the middle of it. It makes me nervous trying to force it out of the mud with a crack in it. So I'm thinking I might just go get some propane and fire up the propane forge. Don't recommend hauling propane like this, but you do what you got to do. This is gonna be my makeshift forge stand for now. Here's what I got. Okay, so for those of you playing along at home, I got a piece of 5160. That's it's a decent carbon steel. It's got a lot more chromoly in it, so it's a little bit more springy. Good for making it's good for making bigger blades, like if you want to try to make a bigger chopper or something that you're going to be beating the crap out of on a regular basis. But if you don't have this, but you do have an old leaf spring sitting around or some coil springs, essentially this is the same material as that. Okay. Contrary to belief, any hammer will do the job. But some hammers are going to get you there faster. You're probably not going to be used to swinging a sledge right off the bat. It takes a while. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm probably not used to it either. And then eventually you're going to want some tongs. This is an old set of tongs that I actually welded a little arm onto to help me. And the reason I did that is because when I'm holding it, I don't want this to bounce. So it gives me kind of a cross grip that I can manipulate that piece of steel however I need to. And when you're working on the handle, like actually forging the handle shape of the knife, it's important that when you hit it, it doesn't go flying out of your grip, which happens a lot. So let's try to make something. And this here is a devil forge. You've seen it, well, you haven't seen it in a while, but it's been in a few of the videos. The other thing I'm going to do here is I'm sacrificing a 2x4 to help hold the piece of steel as I go. Disclaimer time. Do not try this at home unless you want to make something awesome. If you're prone to accidents like myself, you're going to get burned. You're going to drop things. You're going to step on things. You're going to trip on things. And these are all part of the beautiful cycle of blacksmithing. Any piece of paper will do. Remember, directions are for dumb people, but direction is for passionate people. I don't know what that means. point is I'm drawing the taper of the tip of my blade I'm making, which since I'm kind of rusty, I'm doing something along the lines of like a big camp knife or a chopper, something that's kind of a jack of all trades knife. It's good at everything, not great, but good at everything. It can be anything from carving wood to clearing brush to shaving with if you need to. I don't know what that means, but shaving is a thing. I'm drawing my shape out, but then I'm turning it on the side and I'm crushing the bevel down. What'll happen is, as you draw the shape out, when you flip the blade up and look, the width or the thickness of the steel is actually going to get thicker because you're mushrooming everything down. So it's important to keep flipping it to the side and clearing out the thickness as it goes. It'll start stretching the belly out, but that's a good thing. In the end, it'll help with symmetry. To kind of go a little crazier with the design coming out. I'm trying to stay disciplined on this and stick to the plan. That's probably the best piece of advice I can give anybody who's starting out in knife making, especially if you're forging your blades. Stick to the plan. Come up with an idea, stick to it. Trust me, because you don't want to spend the next 20 knives still trying to complete that first plan. Alright, I'm going to try to see if I can show you guys how the beveling works on this. You'll notice me tilting the knife, well, the steel, it's not a knife yet. You'll notice me tilting it and working the front, probably the bottom 1 inch of each side to try to pinch material down to create a slope. You see it right in there, that 1 inch starting to slope down. You can look at the back how thick it is, and then the front and how it's starting to thin out. The more we refine, the better that'll get. Tongues, I put it in there with the blade out, which I'll show you. And the idea now is to heat it up and use the hot cut, which is, I made this out of a log splitter. We're going to use this to cut off the parent stock. Start making the handle of this bad boy. That's another advantage of forging, I think, that you don't really get in the other method of stock removal, which I have nothing against stock removal. I do stock removal also. But when I was younger and first starting out, I didn't do a lot of stock removal because I was like, oh, you know, forging's so much cooler. And it is. Both techniques are a means to an end. Whether you do stock removal or forging, the passion is making the knife. So what does it matter how you get there as long as you're getting there? But the advantage of forging is I now have 2 more knives worth of material left, where if I did stock removal on this piece, I might only get 2 total out of the whole thing. So being able to stretch the material, forge it, manipulate the shape, I get a lot more use out of less material. I feel like that's an advantage. You might have noticed by now that my little blacksmith curl at the end of the handle did not work out. Kind of goes back to what I said earlier in this. Don't change the plan. I added that midway through, didn't think it out, didn't plan for it at all. It didn't work. Save yourself a lot of trouble. I am going to I'll drill a hole in the handle for a lanyard when I'm getting ready to fit it for a handle. But as far as the blacksmith curl, I don't think it's going to work out. Plus, the size of the knife might make that curl actually come up and actually dig into your hand if you have to use it for chopping. So, all in all, probably not the best idea. And again, don't change the plan. Make your plan, stick to your plan. Well, there you have it, guys. That is a rough forged billet right there. Kind of like a camp knife. It's got a real big old swooping belly. And right in here, we'll have to grind this to a point. I left it because I didn't want to cause what's called a cold shut, which is a piece of cracked steel that'll turn into a stress fracture later on. I hammered in the bevels, which again, they're rough, but you can see that it starts about here, it goes all the way down. That'll give me somewhere to grind later on. But there you have it. I know it's not really pretty right now, but neither am I. As always, thank you for watching, guys, and thanks for the encouragement on making some stuff and forging some stuff on the channel again. If you like this type of thing and you want to see more, let me know in the comments. Let us give us an idea of what you want to see. Also do traditional blacksmithing, so if there's anything you want to see made like that, let me know and I'll do my best. Like, subscribe. There's like a bell or something out there that you have to go ring. and then bring that back. And I don't know how exactly that works. So, ring the bells and like and subscribe, and call your grandmother. She's a good woman. Call her. And I'll see you guys later.